What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kanri Kuroku, the vlog channel. I'm Robert, your lovely, illustrious host of this vlog channel. He has like 3 videos. This is the 3rd one. But welcome back. A little bit of a accidental hiatus, if the name wasn't already a dead giveaway, due to a lot of things and just a general, I guess I don't really know. It just got away from me, and then everything else happened, and then now we're here. Now I'm recording this, and I realized I should have cleaned my glasses before this, but hey, it's too late now. We're already in it. You just get to look at me with my ridiculously reflective glasses, as it like reflects all the things. Like you can even see like the ring light. Like here's that ring light. Look at that ring light. Look at that. Okay, sorry, we're getting off topic. But welcome. I made a list of notes going into this evening because I wanted to make this kind of short, kind of sweet, but also cover everything that's happened in the broad spectrum, and then we'll dive into it a little more in detail over the next few weeks, as well as diving back into the initial idea of this channel, covering the time period of my amnesia and helping that process. And this is supposed to be kind of a thing, a therapy of sorts, if you will. And yeah. So, okay, got it. I get it. Let's dive into it. So first off, kind of big fun things that I did over the past 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 2.5, almost 3. Yeah, almost 3 months. Big kind of fun thing I did, and I spent a lot of time doing, was Gen Con. Went to Gen Con. It's in Indiana, in Indianapolis, the first weekend of August, which I believe, let me just pull up my calendar on my computer here, was the 1st through the 4th this year. And it was a lot of fun. I had a blast for the most part. There's some caveats to that, and we'll get to that in just a second, which is part of why this hiatus has continued as long as it has, on top of other things. But it was a blast overall. Got to hang out with some really cool people. Adam, as well as the rest of the entire XYZ Game Labs team. You guys are a bunch of great people. If you guys see this video, it was a lot of fun to work with you guys. I'm excited for PAX Unplugged and to work with you guys again. It was really amazing to see a bunch of people that I know from various places on the internet. We've Discord members and the like. A lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that. I played some Weave, which I haven't done that in about... well, I assume I stopped in December of last year, because I don't think I've really played it since until Gen Con. So 6 months. It'd been 6 months before that. 7 months. 8, because August is 8, so 8 months. 8 months before that, which that is a bit crazy. But it was a lot of fun. The new rules are very interesting, speaking of Weave things, but focusing back on Gen Con, overall it was a blast. It was a lot of fun to see a bunch of people from a bunch of different aspects of the internet world that I'm a part of, and the spheres that I kind of dabble in. And the unfortunate... what's the best analogy? I guess the unfortunate, like, brute, man who stabbed Caesar in the back, of that situation is I don't think there's really a good way to put this. So we're going to get a little heavy, and I know I'm hoping if editing me is at all good at their job, they put a trigger warning for this sort of thing. But I was sexually assaulted at Gen Con. I got a little toasted, drank a little too much, and was taken advantage of one evening by a very close and very dear friend of mine. I will leave their name unnamed and spare them a fair bit of pride, but understand that it has a lot of ramifications. And as such, I had to do a lot of soul searching, as they were a very close friend of mine. Probably the only person only person that was as close as they were at the time. And as a result, that had to change. I didn't realize until about 2 weeks after, really the depth of what had happened. Mostly in denial, just because like that happens to people, right? And upon talking with one of my coworkers, and who's now also a friend and a person that I am dating, and she's really cool. She was like, that's not okay. People don't just do that. And I was like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh hot damn. So then I had to, go and explain that to my therapist and all this other great shit. And that was a lot of fun. That has sparked more conversations that are great. Yeah. So, but speaking of coworkers, I also got a new job, over this course of time. We're just gonna like dive into something happier for a quick second, and we'll come back to it in a bit. I was actually going to take an entire video and dedicate it to what that entire situation entailed. I know it's kind of a lot to soak in, but it happened, and I prefer the fact that I own it over the fact that I'm like, because I've heard through both Maddie, my girlfriend, and other people that I've spoken to kind of about it, that it's a very hard thing to deal with, and the ability to own it is something that some people have a harder time doing than I do. And that's entirely understandable because of the scope and the nature of usually those incidences versus mine. But I do like the fact that owning it I feel like it has it's less scary to me to talk about and to be open with, even though it's still kind of harder than most of my other stuff. Yeah, it was a rough time, especially when I became aware of how serious that situation was and how bad it could have been. Can still be. We're still working out, still finding out. But yeah, in other news, before/after Gen Con, I got a new job. So I have, and theoretically, more money than I did when I started this project and stuff like that. So, but I now have kind of a source of income. It also gets me out of this room that I'm in. This is not the room that you guys have seen me in before, because this is actually the room that I usually record in and do all my live streams on and stuff like that. But this is the last 2 times I was actually recording out of the basement of the house that I live in because of space arrangement things, and then also being respectful of other people who are sleeping in the house. Also, sorry, I'm just biting my finger. But yeah, got a new job. It's pretty awesome. It's very simple. It's a warehouse job. It's nothing crazy, but it's nice because it's not a thinky job, and it's a job that I can put down when I leave there, which is something I like a lot more than my previous job in the Marine Corps, which was IT stuff, which that never ended. Once you got off work, you weren't off work. You were just away from it. And if somebody needed you, they could always message you or call you and be like, hey, we need you to come in for this or that or the other. And that's the Marine Corps in a whole, but like it's like double it because it's IT in the Marine Corps. But yeah, so I got a new job. I know last time I talked, I was setting up a merch store that is still in the works. I'm getting a little more to it before I'm kind of setting it up and propping it up and being like, hey, we're open for business. So that way it's not just like 2 shirts. It's got a little more to it than that. And then it's a little more, properly set up the way it should be. And it'll encompass both, Fettuccine Studios, Connor Krogu, this stuff, and Sam Fettuccine, which, speaking of Sam Fettuccine, I'm working on music, and that will be going under that name in the near future, where currently I'm working on covers, but I'm also going to try to do original stuff as well. Yeah, but look for that in the near future. Yeah, I don't know how good / great it's going to be, or how much that's going to do that, but it's just, I think it's another great way to express kind of the emotions I've been feeling lately, and kind of get down into something that I can look back on and say that I did that, and I'm proud of that. So yeah, but yeah, what else? I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing this. Like, I know it's kind of like been a somber-ish type episode because I had to talk about like all that, but I'm actually excited to get back into this and actually get into what happens during the 8 months that I'm still kind of piecing together. And mostly it's more pieced together, at least from my timeline perspective. I know what happens in those months. It's just kind of like the actual memories attached to them are still kind of fragmented. But there are more than there were when I started, and there's more than there were when I last talked. So both of those are good things. Yeah, but like I'm excited to dive into it. I'm excited to kind of get into each aspect. And now that I have this, now that I also have the ability to kind of talk about that experience with the whole sexual assault thing, I'm also excited to share that part of the story and see, just be there and share what I have, what I've experienced, how I've been able to handle it, what I'm doing to process it, which is a little bit unconventional, but it seems to be working so far. So, yeah. But all that seems like I'm excited to just talk about it. So, yeah. What else? What else do I have? Got a couple more things. I know we're getting towards the end of the episode. Made some new friends at the new job. Few people. One of them's really into tech, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see that. It's very interesting for me as someone who has a harder time with fighting games. I'm gonna pick on my fingers a little more. As someone who has a harder time with fighting games, it's very interesting to see someone who can play it for hours on end and be fine. And I'm over here like maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then I'm like, I need to take a break. It's very interesting. It's very awesome. And then last but not least on my list is my new girlfriend. Newish. I say it's new. But yeah, she's been really helpful alongside my therapist and keeping a level playing field and kind of giving me kind of this grounding point outside of myself to kind of help both further ground what I have, like what I'm thinking in reality, and then also just be there. It's amazing. She's wonderful, and I appreciate her for all that she's been there for. She kind of came in at a very weird time, and I don't think either of us were expecting it because we were talking the one evening. She was kind of in the area. Well, so story time. She was going to a restaurant that it sounded like one that was near the house that I live at. And as a result, I was like, wow, it's close by. She took that as, that means I must want food. And since she was kind of low key crushing on me, was like, well, do you want food? And I'm like, I don't want to have her go out of the way. Cause I was apparently very dense to this at the time. And was like, I don't want to have her go out of the way just to bring me food. One of my friends was like, she's obviously like has a crush on you or something and is interested in you. And I'm like, is she though? Because I'm pretty unattractive. Which beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it's kind of a catch-22. Regardless, I said yes, and so she comes over and we talked till about like 3 a.m. And a little before we ended up parting ways for the evening, because I kind of explained to her, I kind of was very open with where I was in my life story and kind of where, like, what position I was in. And it was very interesting to look at and kind of see back now, like, it always astonishes me how I'm capable of being so open. And it's always something I like, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to sound like cynical or narcissistic. There we go. But anyway, not the point. Point is, I explained this to her, and I explained how one of the people that I was talking to at the time, who I was trying to be friends with, I was like, I just want to be friends, and went on a spiel about that because I did not feel like I was in a space where I should be in a relationship. And she took that very seriously, and I was like, all right, hard backpedal. We'll just be friends. It's cool. That's what she's thinking. And then I curveball out of nowhere because she said that she'd never been asked on a date. Was like, should I ask her on a date? And I thought about it. And I thought about it real hard to the point where I was like arguing with myself in my brain. And it was not like an unnoticeable argument. Like, I stopped talking to have this argument with myself, and it was wonderful. Point being, I then eventually, after winning over this argument with myself, asked her out on a date, and she said yes, surprisingly to me. And here we are, and we just like hang out and talk, and it's amazing. She's really cool, and she's really wonderful, and I like enjoy spending time with her, and just existing with her. But yeah, super cheesy, hopeless romantic shit. But yeah, no, she's been immensely helpful in keeping myself from. She's been helpful as something to see. She's just somebody who gives me hope more than anything. Hope that all this shit was. There's a lesson behind it, and there is something that is beneficial to me that I can then take forward and say, hey, this is what I've been through, and then this is how I can help others who are currently going through it, and how they can help them achieve the goals that they are looking towards and trying to get to where they want to be, so that they are no longer fighting with it, I guess, or in a better place, and aren't having they get to the point where I'm trying to get to right now, where it's something that you can kind of look at more objectively, unless it's something that has happened to you. But yeah, so I've been rambling for over 20 minutes, so I'm going to leave this one off here. We'll dive into more of each one of these crazy topics in future videos, for the most part. Yeah, I will probably spend a few videos talking about the whole sexual assault thing, what that means, the impact it had, what it meant for a lot of what I was doing, a lot of the games I was in, tabletop stuff, things of that nature. We'll get into that in a future video. We've already been going far too long for this one. But I thank you all for watching. If you want to, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to or want to or wish to. I appreciate all of it. And there will be links to all the socials and stuff in the description. And yeah, I think that's about it. I will leave you all to your devices. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the hiatus. Thankfully, we're here, and I'm excited to start doing more videos in the future. So I don't know how often the schedule is going to be. I'm going to try to shoot for once a week, and we'll go from there. So we're going to try to shoot for Monday evenings is when we're going to be doing these vids. So yeah, we'll see. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.